let's get started with social media and the sales strategy. So very, very important. All right, so if you're just joining us, welcome to the New Life event. My name is Shauna Siegel, and I am your host. I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store and also host of Ecom Experts on Webmaster Radio. And I love education. Education is power. And if you want to learn more about me, just go check out my bio because we're here for the New Life event. A special thank you. Please make sure you say thank you so much to our speakers because without them, we would not have this great education. And a special thank you to all of you. You guys are the sponsors of this event. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have NA speakers here. And because of you being out there and spreading the word and retweeting and talking about it and sending people to newlifeevent.com, our speakers keep coming back and providing us with this great education. So please continue to spread the word because we are giving out some great prizes. Don't forget our grand prizes, and you are a winner just by being here. So if you want to learn more about our prizes, go to twitter-winner.com. Make sure you're using the hashtag NLE. We've got all the information on how to do it. If you don't have a Twitter account, we've got information on how to do that. We've got a kit that you can download for free on how to do it. And for those just joining and going, why do we have to use Twitter? It's because Facebook won't has this big list of rules and they're all funny about it, and Twitter's like, have fun. So Twitter, there you go. All right, so upcoming schedule, we just have a great night of learning to do. We've still got, oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go, and it just keeps going and so much fun. All right, so have questions, Twitter them to us at New Life Event or ask questions on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and pass over the screen, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And how are you today?
I am fantastic.
Oh, I love your accent. Your voice is just so beautiful. I just love it.
Thank you.
I just love listening to you. So if you could maybe tell people a little bit about yourself, because every time I try to get your bio, you then increase all the things that you're doing. And so I don't know when you sleep. So you're just going to have to tell us what you're up to now. I'm going to mute myself and let you take it away.
All right. Thank you, Shauna. And thanks to everyone who has decided to take an hour of their time to tune in and listen to me babble a little bit today. I am Phaedra Stockstill, and my website is www.sla-ecommerce.com. We provide social media services. In other words, I am a social media representative, director, manager, whatever other word you decide you want to toss in there. We're currently representing anywhere from 10 to 15 entities within the social media space. You can also find me over on bonanzaboardroom.com, where we post updates and news about the Bonanza Marketplace, and we have a podcast with my partner in crime, Miss Judy Oglesby. It's over on TalkShoe. It's also entitled Bonanza Boardroom. And for those of you who might just think a trip to Vegas in June would be a good idea, I was lucky enough to be asked to be your keynote speaker at the upcoming Bonanza Up 2011 e-commerce event in Vegas. So what am I doing here today? What I want to bring to you today is social media and the sales strategy. What am I not going to do? I'm not going to waste your time trying to convince you that you need to have your business on social media. At this point, with all the hype and the information and articles and write-ups and news pieces that are out there, I think everyone understands that concept. So what I want to share with you is I'm going to go where no social media manager has gone before. I'm going to divulge the strategy that we use behind the scenes in managing our clients' accounts and how they become successful in social media space. It's really not that difficult. I think you're all going to be surprised by what you see. So let's just dive right in. First, I want to cover with you the 5 stages of social media adaptation. What people go through, or business owners go through, as they're deciding to move into the social media space. And the first step is denial. I don't do that tweet, bird thing. I don't have all day to sit on Facebook. And I have to tell you, this is my favorite comment. I don't have all day to sit on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and I want to know who does. And if you know who does, I want to meet them, especially if they are a business owner. As I stated, we are handling anywhere from 10 to 15 accounts in social media spaces, and guess what? I don't spend all day on social media. I have 3 different businesses that I also run. So I'm debunking that myth right here, right now. There's no such thing as spending all day on social media unless you're getting paid a lot, okay? The next phase is curiosity. We hear the stories. We read the write-ups. You know, Joe Bob told an amazing story about what he accomplished on Twitter. And then Susie Q, she says her fan page is awesome and is driving tons of traffic to her website. So we begin to get curious about social media. And then finally comes acceptance. We know we need to do social media, and we feel a sense of urgency because we've waited so long. Now we feel like we're late, we have to get out there. And so we toss up a profile, and we get so excited, and the anticipation builds, and we start tweeting, and we start Facebook posting, and we say, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. And then what happens? Disappointment. No one bought my stuff. Hello, is anyone out there? And then we get extremely disappointed. And what happens by the time a client comes to me is there are these abandoned profiles out there that have seen no activity in 30 to 60 days. The likelihood is that they're going to eventually be hacked and begin spamming everyone around them. So those are the 5 stages. And as someone jumps into social media and gets to that last stage, they walk away thinking this is a farce. All the stories are just hype. This does not really work. The question is, what happens? Well, I can tell you what happened. They had no strategy. There was no plan in place. You know, I adore Shauna. I think she is one of the most fantastic people on earth. And I would love to go see her and hang out with her. But you know what? If I jumped in my vehicle and just started driving, we would never get to enjoy that drink together because I would never make it. I need directions. I need a plan of how I'm going to get there. I need my GPS. I need my Droid on car mode and Google talking me through the turns of how to get there. And this is what you need in social media. You must have a strategy. Decide what your goals are. Decide what attainable positioning will work best for your business. Decide who your audience is, then decide on the content. So let's take a deeper look at what these things mean. But before we do, I have a news flash for you. And I want to make sure you're all sitting down, okay? Because this one might hurt. Social media is rarely an instant gratification return on investment. Social media is rarely an instant gratification ROI. What it is a long-term investment that can reap very high rewards. So just making sure this news flash is kind of sinking in before we move on. So let's look at the social media strategy. Goals. What is the attainable positioning for the business? Who is the target audience? Just like in any marketing plan, you need to know who the target audience is for your business in social media. Look at the geographics and the demographics. What are their interests? Then deciding the content becomes so much simpler. So before you get on Twitter, before you get on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and if you're already there, stop, put on the brakes, step back, and go through this process. And then you will find your results will increase exponentially. So let's look at the first piece, the goals. What are your goals from your business in social media? And we all know social media is basically free, but you are investing your time. And if you're outsourcing it, then it's not free. You're paying for it. You need an ROI. What is it going to be for you? Is it an increase in traffic to your website, increased sales, or building brand awareness for your business? The next piece is attainable positioning. Now let's be reasonable in considering this. I'm not Guy Kawasaki. I'm not going to have 1 million followers in 2 weeks' time. We are not necessarily multi-million-dollar businesses. So we need to consider a good, reasonable, attainable positioning for our business. Thought leadership is one that is not that difficult to attain. Consider your niche and become a thought leader in that niche. Networking. Networking and social media for me personally has been fantastic. It has probably been one of the biggest assets that have come to play for me in social media and for my business. SLA Commerce did absolutely no advertising for social media management, yet we're pretty much already booked up and can take no more clients at this particular moment. Will you use it for customer service, or will you use it as an explorer? Is it where you will go to learn, gather information, and pull in resources for your business? So all 4 of these are different pieces of positioning. Which one fits your business? You will decide this by knowing what your goals are. This next piece is your audience, the geographics. Do you need attorneys in Seattle? Is that your target audience? Or bloggers across the U.S.? Or CEOs of Fortune 5 companies on a global level? Is that your target audience? So first decide the geographics of your target audience. Where are they? Then you can start considering what are the demographics. If the sports nut is your target audience, then you may be tweeting a lot of information from ESPN.com and a lot of articles from that particular source. You may blog about, like right now with the NFL season, we may not have one, so you may blog about that. If your target is bloggers, female professionals, consider what kind of information is going to be of interest to them. If my target audience is bloggers, then posting information about WordPress and different services that bloggers are interested in, that would be great content to attract my target audience. What if your target audience is in the medical field? Then what are you going to be posting? Medical news, breakthroughs, updates, those types of things. And then last but not least, as an example here, we have mommy and daddy. What are you going to post into your social media? Baby info. Maybe you want to go natural baby carrying info. There are so many different ways to drill into your niche, depending on where your business fits. Think about the laws of attraction. What interests your target audience? And create a stream of sharing that is relevant and of value to them. Remember, you're not just posting for yourself. You're posting for your audience. And then be human. No, I don't want to know what you had for breakfast on Twitter every morning, but it's quite all right to wish me a great weekend or post a funny Friday diversion cartoon or video every now and then. Don't be just a business. Remember to keep the human element in play for your target audience. Now, before you go out and start following this entire target audience, create a stream that attracts them, whether it be on Facebook, on Twitter, or in YouTube. You have to create the content first so that when you follow them, what's the first thing they're going to do? Look at your content. So create the stream, then follow them. They see the relevant content that interests them. Your chances of getting the follow back and the engagement just went way up. So you target, you follow, you engage. Okay, let's do that one more time. Remember, I just mentioned create the content, the stream of content first. Then you target them, then you follow, then you engage. You will get what you give. You have to give value to receive value. So target that audience, be where they are, engage them to receive engagement. Now let's take this out the cloud and let's put it down to earth. Let's say my target is accountants in Seattle. And I find an accountant in Seattle. I've created my content stream to look really, really nice. I follow him. What is the first thing I do? I'm going to bring him value first in order to get the value in return. So I'm going to retweet him. I'm going to comment on his blog. I'm going to comment on his Facebook post, share his Facebook post on my page, like his fan page, comment on his fan page. Are we starting to see how this little circle begins to work? When he sees me commenting and adding value to him, the chances of him doing it in return have doubled. So what you do all of these pieces, and then I want you to rinse and repeat. So lather it up real good in social media, rinse, repeat. Continue doing it as you continue to target your audience. This is one of the pieces that everyone neglects. They post to Twitter, post to Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, they're doing YouTube videos, they never look at the numbers. And no, I'm not talking about the lucky numbers you got in your fortune cookie. I am talking about your data. And I'll be honest with you, I am not a data-oriented person. I prefer marketing and networking and socializing, but I still have to crunch my data also. Analyze that data. Know from the data will tell you the best times to post, when you're getting the most engagement. Who is engaging with you? Know who they are so that you can thank them and bring value to them. Find out who is influential within your niche. Also know which one of your posts, whether it be to Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, are getting the most attention. Analyze the content of that post so that you know now what content is highly relevant and of interest to your audience because it got the most attention. These key pieces will help you in building your influence so that when you put out the call to action, click this link to my website, you're going to get a higher chance of doing so. So you either share content of value or you create the content of value, or you do both. And here's one thing to keep in mind. This is what stops a lot of people. Not every post, every video, or every blog entry has to be earth-shattering. It's simply not. It does not have to be. I can post information for small business owners all day long. I can go to the open forum, WSJ.com, socialmediaexaminer.com, inkmagazine.com, all of those places, and share content in my Twitter stream that will attract my target audience, which is business owners. And this is true. It is, believe it or not, it is an incestuous relationship with your marketing and your social media. It's a continuous circle. For example, you create the video on YouTube. You have to share it on Facebook. You have to post it to Twitter. You want to blog about it, and then you want to repeat that cycle all over again. I'm going to put out a little tidbit here. If you're using Twitter and you have an article or a blog that you really want to attract attention to, and you send it out at 8 a.m., don't call it over. Send it out again at 7:30 p.m. Change up the wording and send it out again. Why? Because different followers are online at different times. So mix it up. Keep your cycle going and repeats. Now we get to the point where everybody always asks me, what tools do you use to manage your social media and that of your clients? Before you, just close your eyes and do not look at the slide yet, because before you get there, you really, really, really need to go back and complete the steps that we've already covered, because if you don't, none of these tools are going to do you any good. So I'm going to recap for you by using an example for you, okay? My target audience, again, as I mentioned, small business owners. So I'm going to find content that's relevant to them. I've decided small business owners in the U.S. What's of interest to them? What are their pain points? So I'm pulling content from a variety of sources, and I'm posting it daily. On a weekly, maybe monthly basis, I'm checking my data. When are my followers online? What content got the most attention? Who are my influential followers? Who is giving me the most value? I'm going to reevaluate this information. It may change when and how I post information to my social media sites. It will also may change who I'm engaging with and whom else I may be able to add and engage with. Now, how do I make all this a little more simple? My number one tool that I cannot live without is Hootsuite. Hootsuite allows me to get up in the morning and schedule my post to numerous different sites. If I want to send the same blog post to Twitter and Facebook, I can do so with Hootsuite, and I can schedule it for any time of the day. I can also on Hootsuite see which tweets, a summary kind of my stats. You know, what's getting clicked on, what my most popular tweets are. Here, I will quickly show you an example of what Hootsuite stats look like. This is, or these are my stats for Hootsuite, the last 30 days. As you can see, 288 clicks. And you'll see peaks and valleys here. Well, I can analyze this data, find out why I got more clicks on one day than others. As you can see, I'm doing very good with targeting the United States at 69%. Here are my most popular messages. Now, this is very good information. Everyone must be interested in 7 ways to thank someone for a retweet. Obviously, people were very interested in that content. Here's a very nice piece. Influencers that have mentioned at Phaedra Stock. The Savvy Seller, whom some of you probably know as Miss Marlene Gabbins, has given me 30 mentions in the last 30 days. That means she averaged mentioning me once a day. Well, I can tell you now, I'm definitively going to up the amount of retweets and comments that I'm giving her in return because she deserved it. So that's kind of a good look at some of the stats that Hootsuite can bring you. It can also give you your Facebook insights data to crunch on and see what you can tweak and change on Facebook. The next tool is Twello.com. Now, what does Twello do? Twello actually allows you to target your market. In this example, I have searched Seattle for, or in the category of accountant. Let's say accountants in Seattle are my target market. Twello returns me profiles of accountants, and you'll notice their location is listed in Seattle or Washington. And I can see their bios and then decide if they would be a good fit to follow on Twitter. I can also search and maybe see if I can find them on LinkedIn or see if I can find them on Facebook, depending on which social media site is more important for me and my target audience. The next tool I have listed for you is called tweetreach.com. Now this is a nifty little tool. What it basically shows you is how far your tweet actually went. Now, if you'll notice, for me, I reached 204,271 people via 50 tweets. If you've looked at my account, you know that I only have a little over 18,000 followers. How did this happen? TweetReach takes into consideration the power of the retweet. So I can actually see here that 166,989 people saw one tweet that I put out. Now, isn't that pretty amazing? Also, impressions contributed by Twitterers. Say that word 5 times fast, okay? And if you'll notice here, Miss Ann Tran gave me 168,701 impressions. Well, Miss Ann Tran is going to get a follow right then and there upon seeing that. And of course, then I came in second. Miss Kat Simpson, who presented earlier today, whom I already follow, I promise you. So this is a great way to find people who are interacting with you and providing value to you. You can then return the favor. So that's tweetreach.com. For those of you who are in the chat and looking at the NLE tweets, you are in an amazing networking position right now. All of these people who are involved in this chat could be great networking opportunities for you because they're obviously interested in the same things you are, small business and education. So have you gone through some of the people who are in the tweet chat for NLE, checked out profiles, and found opportunities to connect with new people? And if you haven't, you wait till I'm done, and then you do so. The next tool I have for you is called crowdbooster.com. Now, Crowd Booster, I do believe, is still in beta. So you'll need to go to their site and ask for the software. They'll let you in to test and beta. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it so far. It shows you your kind of tracks your growth over time for you, shows you who your influential followers are, who's retweeting you, providing you value. But one of the things that Crowd Booster does for you is what's called reports. You put in keywords, and Crowd Booster returns to you a report on those keywords. People who are using those keywords and influential in those keywords. So whatever your niche market is, that should be one of your keywords. Here's an insider tip for you. Your business name, and I'm not talking about the one on the license, I'm talking about the one that would be used, generally speaking, if someone is talking about your business. That needs to be one of your keywords so you can monitor your brand and find out if people are mentioning you that you're not seeing elsewhere. The next one is 14blocks.com. What does 14 Blocks do? Well, it's pretty simple. 14 Blocks looks back through your Twitter activity and tells you when your followers are online the most. Now, how brilliant is this, yet so simple? When do you want to post to Twitter? When the most people will see it. In recently analyzing my account, I changed the way I post to Twitter. I'm a 9-to-5-er. Guess what? My followers are not. One of the better times for me to post was at 8 o'clock in the evening. And so I started testing it, and guess what? The ROI increased. The click-through rate increased. The engagement, the activity, it increased. So here's your toolbox. And I know that you've probably noticed I'm very Twitter-centric because I have gotten the most value there. And Shauna, it's TwitterWinner.com time. If she can hear me and unmute herself
I can't. That's the problem, is I've got 3 screens open, and it's like, okay, which screen is that thing on? Okay. Oh, and then hit the unmute button, because I don't trust myself with the one on the microphone.
I don't blame you.
I have never heard of 14blocks.com. Brilliant.
It is, have you ever thought of when I should post? I don't think anyone does. We just post.
Yes.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. It has made a difference. I've tested it out. I have a Fortune 500 company as a client, and they were posting 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5. And guess what? They should have been posting at 8, at 3, and at 7:30. And when we tweaked it for a week, they doubled their click-through rate.
Ah, holy
Yes.
cow.
Yes. Huge, 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 huge difference. So you can get one report for free, but I would recommend paying and getting the non-static report, the report that kind of goes back a little further and gives you more info, because different days will show you different activity in your followers.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, when I had looked over there, Bullet Jewels was the name that I had seen first. So
Okay,
Bullet
excellent.
Jewels, you are like one very, very, very lucky winner. And I am going to go sign up for 14 Blocks because that is too cool. I mean, wow. Okay. Thank you for that. I'll go back on mute. And that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna. Bullet Jewels, I look forward to working with you and doing the social media mock-up for your business, and then we'll do the 30-minute follow-up consult. So head over to twitterwinner.com to make sure you claim your prize. And this is just a little moment to take a deep breath. My little guy here is headed to heaven, and the Almighty says, "What have you done in your life?" And he says, "Didn't you read my tweets?" You liked that, didn't you?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it
Now-
because you know what? Like, I'm like telling Mom, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I didn't know that. And you know what I say to her? Didn't you read my tweet?
Did you read my tweets?
Didn't you read my
See?
blog? Didn't you do this? And then she's like, oh, I'll go read it. And I'm standing in front of her, and I make her go read my tweet or my blog instead of just telling her. Oh, my God.
Oh, my word.
Sorry. I love that. I'm going to have to, like, get a picture of that. Okay.
You go right ahead.
All right.
My husband and I we're partners in the business, and we actually have desks similar, kind of side by side. And I'm the same way. Well, didn't you read my tweet? Didn't you see what I posted on such and such? Okay. I have taken you really into the background of how this all works and how we as social media managers make it work for our clients. So I will not be invited to any more social media parties. I'm probably now an outcast and ostracized. Here's the mechanics of it, because the questions I receive is, how do you do it? When do you do it? And I'm debunking the myth once and for all that you need to sit on social media all day long. In the morning, you jump on your Hootsuite, you schedule your post, you retweet others, you comment on others' posts on Facebook, you run over and like a YouTube video, you make a connection on LI, you leave, you go run your business. In the afternoon, you check back in. You thank people for retweets. You follow them if you're not following them. You click add a friend on Facebook over on the right where it says people you may know. And you comment on someone else's post, you close it, and you leave it. Twice a week, look for crossovers. If there's someone that is just extremely interesting on Twitter, chances are they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn. So cross your users between the three, and then head over to Twilio and find somebody new to follow. If you can't find them there, do some Twitter searches. Go over to Clout, see what's showing up on the front page of Clout. Look at who the people you are engaging with, go look at who's mentioning them and who's retweeting them. Check their profiles out. This is twice a week. That's it. This is the mechanics of a social media strategy. Bada bing. And the light bulb goes off and the divine music plays. We do not spend all day in social media. I want to thank you all for listening to me. I hope in return for your time that I have brought you some value to that time. You can find me on Twitter. I am at Phaedra Stock. Unfortunately, my entire name wouldn't fit because it's way too long. You can find me on Facebook as Phaedra Stockstill. And I hope to see you all in Vegas in June at the Bonanza Up. That's all I have for you. Any questions, Shauna?
Yes, we have some great questions. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so Susan wants to know, are you doing this on blog, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, your choice of social media? And I would say, from what you're saying, is Twitter your choice, or are you doing this on all?
I do it on all of them. I am, for myself personally, my main focus is Twitter and Facebook, and I have LinkedIn. For clients, you will find me in YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, blog commenting campaigns. I have one in Redid It. I have a couple in Merchant Circle. So I'm in multiple different spaces depending on each individual business and what fits them.
Good. I think, are you basically saying it depends?
Yes. You know what, Kat Simpson? Man, when this was said yesterday, I told myself, I refuse. I will not say it depends during my presentation tomorrow. And you, Shauna, you got me. It depends. You have to go back to the beginning where I said, determine your goals, determine your attainable position and the target audience, and go where they are. So it depends on your business, sincerely.
All right, and I think you're going to answer the same thing for this question. Is Twitter the best place to begin with?
You know, actually I'm not.
Okay, all right.
I will tell you that I find for businesses just starting out in social media, seems to be the easiest place to begin a community. So if you start on Twitter following the pieces that we have in our strategy and you create, 2 to 3 days worth of really good streams of content, and you go out and start following people and you start getting the follow backs, then what happens is if you get yourself to 100 to 200 on Twitter, and you're engaging with these people, and then you move it over to Facebook and you engage with those people in Facebook, they're much more likely to accept the friend request or engage with you there. But in this one case, I have to say, yes, I find Twitter to be the easiest place to begin building a community and making connections, and then you can simply cross that over into other places.
Well, I'm going to adjust that, my opinion. I'm going to adjust that slightly. I personally think you have to have a blog first or a website first. Make sure you've got that, because if you don't have any place to send people to find out more about you, because you have to give people more. And this is an excellent example, because everybody right now is going, Phaedra, where can I go get more information? I love her. Where can, how much does she charge for this? Where can I go for more information? Where can I do this? So although she's out here, now it's time to send them someplace. So that's personally, my opinion has always been, you got to have a home base first and then go in. And yeah, I agree. I like Twitter first.
Well, I'm going to debunk one more myth there, okay? And I'm going to do this completely, truly from experience. If, in this case, I know a lot of our listeners are e-commerce merchants. So they're on eBay. They have their own website. They're on Bonanza, Amazon, wherever. In their bio, of course, they're linking to their store where they sell. And so they may not have a tremendous amount of content. Here's the key, people. If you don't have time, if you don't know how to blog, outsource it. Never be afraid to outsource it. You can get a little blog up just to help you with some SEO and some content and some presence, and it's not that expensive. Now, here's the debunker for you, okay? I represent a client, has a website, but has no content. Has strictly, this is what we sell, here's some examples of what we sell. Now, this is a $1 million company. Doesn't blog, doesn't do any YouTube videos, does absolutely nothing. Has a clout score of 47 in Twitter now. That's all they do is Twitter. They don't do Facebook, they don't blog, they don't do anything else. The traffic to their site from Twitter is insane. And so what do I do for them? I find content that's relevant to their business, and I post it for them from different sources, and then slip in a couple to the website. But I don't say buy my stuff, okay?
Right.
What I might say is case study. Can direct mail increase website traffic? And when you get to the site, it shows where they did this with this client or whatever. So there are ways to provide good content for your community that you're trying to build. You may necessarily never reach the thought leadership position, but you can still network. You can still create some good contacts and some good connections in the space. I mean, I'm just going to have to debunk that myth, because, to be honest, when this account first came to me, I said, this is never going to work. It's never going to happen. They refused to do any content. I was kind of shocked myself at what the results have been, and it's been 2 months that we've been on the account. One more thing I'm going to debunk for you, too. When you look at a Twitter account, let's say you looked at my account, and you saw that I had 18,000 followers. Or you look at Shauna's, she's got 60,000 followers. What goes through your mind? Oh my God, she must be awesome. She must be just a guru, da-da-da-da-da, because the numbers do matter. Continue to build your community, especially on Twitter. Work at it, target, and keep working it. Don't spam. That's not the way to do it, but continue to work it. Once you get a couple of hundred followers and a little community going, you're going to see it start growing even easier and easier. And that's just human nature. I'm sorry, but it really is. And those who tell you the numbers don't matter, go look at their profile and see how many followers they have. And then come back and argue with me about that one, okay? So it goes back to the instant gratification thing. It's a work in progress, and consider it that, and enjoy it and have fun while you're doing it.
And that's the thing that I think is, I think when people start getting into social media, they get so worried that they're going to ruin something if they're not themselves. And I'm sorry, but I've always taken the opinion that if somebody doesn't like you for being you and who you are, then screw them. I mean, I'm sorry.
Do you want to do business with that person?
Exactly.
Because probably not going to be a good fit for each other, so, why would you bother? Like I said, put some human element in there. Please do.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm more likely to connect with you if there's a little bit of humanity in your stream, on your wall. I like seeing a little bit. Now, no, I don't want to know what you have for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Things like that consistently will kind of turn me away. But so will a stream of buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff.
Exactly. That's the one-way date where the guy only wants to talk about me, 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 me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
We definitely know about that. And I know when I first started out, it was like I just wanted to have like every customer I could, and it was like, I didn't realize that there are plenty of customers out there for everybody, and I just think that that's
There are.
important. That's a very, very important. All right.
I agree with you 100% on that one, Shauna. Thank you so much for having me. I've had a blast.
Oh.
And I hope I brought a little bit of value to those who took the time to listen to me babble today.
Oh, we loved having you. And, one of the things that she talked about was networking and using these for networking. And so our next speaker is going to talk about networking at conferences. So if you're going to be heading to Vegas in June, which I want to go to Vegas, then you definitely need to know. But also this is going to be great information for networking online as well. So Phaedra, I think you need to head over to Twitter yourself, because there's lots of people that have questions for you that you can finish up, and this will allow us a chance to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, because we did not get one the last hour. So.
You know what, Shauna? Yeah, I have one more thing. And this is only for those listening live right this moment, okay?
Yes.
You cannot tweet this. No one is allowed to tweet this, okay?
Okay.
My email address is info@sla-ecommerce.com. And if you will email me, I will send you my Facebook fan page checklist and a worksheet to help you start your Facebook fan page right the first time around. Only for those listening live right now. info@sla-ecommerce.com, and I will send that over to you to help you get started with your Facebook fan page. Free.
There you go.
And I'm not going to save your email address, I promise. I will not do that either.
That's right. And I was wrong. The networking one's at 6. I apologize. We're going to be talking about how to manage your social media effectively. Now we know we've got to. Now we're going to talk about manage. And, what's really interesting is, I know that I had somebody that looked at the schedule and said, man, you're talking a lot about social media. And it's like, yes, we are. Because it's such a wonderful way to target customers, to build new customer databases. I mean, it's such a fun. I wish I had it 11 years ago when I had my store.
I remember face-to-face networking, the Rolodex, the day runner. Remember day runners?
Oh, gosh.
The planner, business card books.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. I remember
Sometimes I miss having a cute little day runner. Do you? Because they were cute. Oh.
All right, I'm going to head out. I need to get a sip of water and whatnot. I want to get ready for the next prezzo, too.
All right, that sounds great. All right, we are going to go on a little bit of a break here, everybody. Got a nice little 10-minute break, so make sure you grab a drink, grab a bite, and get ready for our next webinar.